This is Matt Brabbins with Remax Advantage Realty in New Westminster, BC. This video is part 3 of what to watch for when buying an old house. We're going to talk about windows and insulation. They are important to every home. They don't necessarily rank really high though when I'm out there looking with clients going, do we need to know if these are done? If they're not done, if they're not upgraded or modernized, is that a real high cost issue for you in keeping your home in working order? Not really. It will make your home more comfortable, and it will cost less to operate year over year, either for heating or cooling costs in the summer. When we're talking about windows, homes up until the 1970s, even when they were building them new, had single pane windows. You're looking for a house that, if you know the windows have already all been upgraded from single pane to double pane windows, whatever it is, check that off the list, you know it's done. We're looking at insulation, bit more of a complicated conversation with older homes. Going way back, different eras of construction, but you would have seen lath and plaster walls, and that's throughout the house. So there was no drywall being used at that time. You don't just put up a sheet of drywall, screw it on, and mud up the seams. You had to mud everywhere. So lath and plaster kind of looked like this. You had your studs going on the wall, and then you take these little slats of wood and you nail them across. So that's your lath, and then the plaster just gets mudded on over top, and it's the lath that catches all of the mud there, and then they just smooth it over, and that becomes your wall. When that was done, so these black lines being your studs, before the lath and plaster went on, nothing went in between the studs as insulation. So there is no insulation. If you're looking at an old house and you can tell that those exterior walls from the inside, you can tell it's kind of got a rough texture to it, it was done by hand, that's lath and plaster. There's no insulation on the other side of that. Shouldn't say that. Doesn't mean there's no insulation. They could have blown in insulation as a retrofit after the fact. So they've drilled a hole maybe from the outside or the inside, go from the top, try to get it to drop into those cavities between the studs and fill the space. A number of different methodologies have been used over the years. From what I've seen and been told, none have been 100% effective, but it's certainly better than nothing. So if we're getting into it where you see drywall on the inside of an exterior facing wall, you should expect, reasonable expectation, that before that drywall went up, insulation was put in between the studs. And then we also want to look at the attic. There have been old homes that had no attic insulation. Easy enough to put in. You can blow it in, you can put the fiberglass batting down, you can beef it up if you want more insulation in there. So if it's something you want to do, go ahead and get that upgraded, windows and insulation in an old house.